is. Out. A lot of states are obviously rolling out next week around the country, so it's going to be great to kind of understand and see how they do things and what works best for them. So we'll be using them as guinea pigs a little bit, which will be great to see. So just to kind of start off, we've had a lot of questions regarding spring season, and I know we touched on this in the last webinar, but the virtual training is not, it is complementary, sorry, it's not a substitute for your spring hours. And I will let you know on a lot of these calls, a lot of clubs are using the virtual training as a substitute, which we don't agree with, and I'm sure you guys don't either. So just know that all the work that we are doing, you know, is complementary, and we're doing the best that we can to keep the kids active and keep them engaged with their teammates and obviously with their coaches. As said before, we will make up everything and anything that has been lost in the spring season. And we will find ways to do it. So anything that you did pay for, you will receive. It works out roughly for the regular teams is 30 hours of practice, 8 hours games, and for NMCs 42 hours, which we've calculated. Again, we can make those up, you know, in 5 days throughout a week, on a weekend, etc. Through summer training, camps, games, and we've already got clubs lined up to play friendlies, etc. Again, if it's safe, and then if it gets pushed into August as pre-season, again we will add in kind of complementary things there. We are also going to add in hopefully a free camp as well as the one that we're going to make up for spring. The last thing then also, we're going to add in club events throughout the year, kind of, you know, as a goodwill gesture to you guys for keeping faith in everything that we're doing at this club. Just to show obviously the things that we've been doing, we've been hitting all 4 pillars of that player development. The technical, you know, with the live Zoom sessions with coaches, the live TDCs that I'm doing Tuesdays, Thursdays, the skill challenges, and obviously you see everything on our YouTube library. The tactical side of it, the game analysis, the individual analysis, and team analysis. Okay, a lot of stuff going on there, keeping the kids engaged, which they would be doing in the normal spring season. The physical aspect, again, has been in the live Zoom sessions and live technical development centers. And again, you can access this all on our YouTube library. I think one of the big pieces we've got a lot of good feedback on is the sports psych. Adler University is doing a fantastic job with our players, our teams, and coaches, which we do weekly workshops, and we are going to be adding a parent workshop in the next couple of weeks. Then obviously the individual development plans and the one-on-one sports psych. A lot of families are taking advantage of that, which has been great. So again, a lot of work going on behind the scenes from the coaching staff. We thank you very much through this difficult time. And again, we know you guys are going through it as well, and we're trying to be there as much as we can for you.
Hey Nick,
so
quickly,
2021 process.
Oh, Facebook's down, so you're going to have to redo the link quickly.
Oh, no. Killing me. Okay, Slavo, just touch on rosters and player movement there while I adjust this, please.
No problem at all. As for the rosters are already posted on our website, as you already know. And creating those rosters, there was a process of evaluating new players and our existing players. So as you all know, evaluating our existing players, that was not actually a hard part because we evaluate all our players through the whole season, in every session, in every game, in every office session, and do our layout of our program and set up of coaches. We actually know, every coach knows 80 to 90% of the players. So it was easy for us to set up those players. We did have some movement before the spring, and we thought that there is no reason to make any changes there, and we proceed with those rosters that we prepared for spring. As far as the new players, there is 2 types of new players. Obviously, there is one that we know, the one that already practiced with us or guest up in tournaments or played in Superwire US Cup. So that was easy because we know them and we place them in a level where we believe that they belong. But there is also new players that we didn't know very well, that we don't know at all, that are, as far now, they're placed based on their background and experience, but they all know. We already spoke with all of them, and they are familiar with the fact that once we start. Is that going to be in June, in July, or August or September? In a week or two, we will evaluate them and we'll place them in a right environment. We didn't want to do virtual tryouts as many other clubs do it because after so many trials behind us, we know that seeing kids juggling on a screen or even on the field, just juggling or doing dribblings around the cones, it doesn't represent actually replicate the exact level of player we have to see them in the games. And as you know, in the last few tryouts, we are more focused on evaluating kids in the games. So we couldn't do that until we get out.
Cool. Thank you,
Anybody else
Slavo.
wants to add something? Yeah, thank you.
Well, sorry, thank you. Yeah, so just to add to that, obviously, those that have been members of the club know that player movement is part of our programming. So again, wherever you're placed now can change throughout the year. And we know that's always a question. So again, please reach out if you have any questions. Some parents already have, which is great and fine. We welcome that. We've no problem with that. But we're very confident. Again, we've been doing this a long, long time. We understand and know the levels of players' abilities and kind of the leagues as well. So we ask, obviously, that you trust that. And it's okay to have that open conversation with us. We want the best for every kid all the time. Okay, registration. So this is the main one. So why now? It's very important now because we've got to form rosters. We've got to form teams with the plan to play 2021. League and player registration has not changed. So that is all the same as it was every year, which I'll go on to the dates in a second. We also need to commit our coaches. Okay, so if we don't have the same amount of teams, rosters, etc., we may have to tell a coach, okay, we don't have enough teams and you may have to find another club. These are the serious implications that come from this. So that's why we're asking for your full support on this. Our club operations and fixed costs also go into that, and planning and preparing for facilities based off, again, rosters, teams, etc., going into the fall season. We have to operate as normal as we go through this. Just for an example, again, if only 5 players register on a roster of 12, that team can't be registered to the league. That's a league rule. So again, we ask for your support. You know, we know we're doing everything we can on our side. So I know a lot of parents have been in full support of us. There's been a lot of, you know, just uncertainty, and we understand that, but we're asking that you kind of help us that. And if you have any real questions on it, please reach out. So when do you register? Obviously, we released them last night. So we're asking between yesterday, boys, girls are open today until May 18th, Monday. This obviously allows us to then chase up whoever needs to be chased up, have those conversations, and we need everything wrapped up by the end of next week. And if you do not register, just please have the decency to connect with your coach and the club and let us know that you're out. A lot of you have done that so far, whether you're on the fence or for whatever reasons, and then we can update the rosters accordingly. We're asking for a $150 commitment fee, which is some of the lowest out there that we've looked at, and we've asked many clubs how they're doing this. And this fee is obviously covering us going into summer, our staff, you know, our fixed costs, etc., to keep us going, that when we do come out of this, we're ready to go. We will not charge any further fees until we know 100% the fall season is going ahead. Okay, so again, a little example of if by June 25th we do not know about fall, the July 1st payment will be paused or pushed back to August 1st. All right, we're doing everything we can to be as flexible as we can through this process. Okay, the fees. We kept the fees as the same. As you can see them there, I don't need to run through them. There does sometimes be confusion with the high school, so just have a look at that with the girls. $9.75 fall only. It's probably one of the cheapest high school fees out there throughout the Chicagoland area. And then if you want to add winter, it's obviously $12.50, or you can do it a la carte. And then boys are coming in as soon as they finish their season. They're allowed to roll into any of our team training going on at the end of the fall season before winter, spring. And then high school NMC is a straight up fee for that. Okay, payment process. And please pay attention and listen, because we've already had emails this morning about this. Upon registration, you will be charged $150 commitment fee. That is holding your spot. That is get you ready for the fall season. You will then, in the process, be asked to pick to pay in full or a payment plan of 6 months, which you need to select one, but we will not charge your card until July 1st if fall season is scheduled to go ahead. And again, like I said in previous slide, if it doesn't, we will push that back to August 1. So there is confusion where people thought we were charging the full straight away. We're not. We're just asking for the $150, but we need that information now so that when we have to pull the trigger, we are good to go. We do not need to waste any more time on those kind of things later on. And like I said there, yeah, if we're uncertain about the fall, invoices will be pushed back. Okay, hopefully that is clear as day, but if not, please again reach out to us. We've no problem with that. Okay, so if there's no fall season, you will not be charged, and I'm repeating that over and over again because that has been one of the main questions. You will not be charged if the season does not go ahead. It's out of our control, so we're not going to obviously charge you guys for that. The 150 commitment, that will go towards the next season, towards the future. Okay, we need to keep hold of that to be able to still register and move forward that way. If fall season doesn't go ahead, we will have e-training opportunities available also. Okay, so everything we've been doing, and I think each week, you know, we're meeting twice a week as a staff. We're looking at ways to enhance the learning opportunities we're doing and bringing in different ideas. So hopefully, you know, if it does get to that, we'll have a lot more to offer on that scale. Just a little quick roadmap that hopefully visually you can all see. Again, virtual rosters were posted. Deadline is the 18th. Invoices, we charge again if we know the July 1st, and then July, August, we'll be making up our spring stuff, moving into pre-season with the season to begin August 24th. So I'm going, that is it. It's pretty much that easy, I guess. So we're going to open up the questions. Heather's going to feed me them, and we'll go from there. Thank you for your time for listening. Heather, how are we doing?
Good. How are you, Nick?
I'm great. Thank you very much. As good as we can be.
Okay. So first question, when will the coaches be announced for the respective teams?
Good question. So coaches right now are pretty much going to stay the same as the teams they had. There will be some little adjustments based off the roster. So as soon as our members commit, then we can commit. And that's the easy answer.
Okay. What organization or governing body has the ultimate say in whether there is a season?
I mean, US soccer, but then obviously each government or each region comes down to them. So obviously right now I know Texas are rolling out next week with tryouts. I believe Indiana, Michigan are starting to roll some things out. And so ultimately I think it's down to the state really. So we're abiding by the state right now. Because US soccer still put the 31st. So a lot of states are kind of in a way going against it, but they are doing obviously social distancing and doing it with the advised kind of procedures.
Arizona is, I will just add, Arizona is the only state that is fully back. It's fully back in games and everything.
Yeah.
How can you make up the spring session if social distancing measures are still in place, or if players end up traveling or attending summer camps?
So that will be obviously more, for the summer camp concept, it'll be more individual. So if that's something that people are not here for those times or those opportunities, then we just ask you to reach out and we'll work with you on that. And when it comes to social distancing, for anybody that's been watching the technical development live centers that I've been doing in a 2x2 grid, in 25 minutes, I've got an absolute tremendous workout, technical and physical workout. And we're going to be able to obviously do more in space than that. There will be a lot of individual, but obviously a lot of our sessions are a lot of individual work. And then obviously based off kind of procedures we go from there, we'll be able to add in maybe passing from distance and then things like that. So there's a lot we can do. And again, we're looking at, you know, other clubs and how they're going to roll out and work through it that way.
What is the difference this year by teams based on birth year versus however you want to say it? So like U10.
Slavo, I'll let you answer that, but there's no real difference, right?
So one more time the question. Sorry, I was reading out a question, so I didn't listen. Heather.
It's what is the difference this year between teams based on birth year versus U10 or U12 per se? It's just for the league. Yeah, it's just the league rules. Yeah, they've just changed it to make it easier for them. There isn't really any difference.
There is no any change. There is any difference. Everything is the same.
Yep.
Just trying to confuse us again.
How likely do you think that the season will go ahead? Also, by the season, do you mean real games and practice, a hybrid, or both?
Good question. Repeat it again.
How likely
Loaded question.
How likely do you think that the season will be open? And will it be open as a regular season, such as real games and practice, or will it be a hybrid, or both?
Could be. It's unknown. I mean, it's really unknown. Nobody knows. Speaking to, again, regional, national, international, no one really knows. We're just waiting for more information on that. And there has been talk about doing smaller sided games, like 4v4s and things like that, and training with groups of 10. So again, there's a lot of ifs and buts, and I'd hate to put an answer on it and how confident that I am. I have to be confident. I'm just hoping we can get out late August. I'll sit inside till then if we can get the fall season going. But really, we can't answer that.
There's a couple
but
questions.
I will say, actually, just to add that, obviously, we could be as confident as, I guess, the organizations and leagues are, because they're obviously asking us to operate as normal with registration and things like that. So they're planning on running, and we have to do the same.
Okay, so there's a couple questions about the uniform and when you would be able to purchase it. Basically, after all the registration comes through, we'll be sending those links out again. The uniform is exactly the same as the last 2 years. There's no changes. For new players, we'll send those links. For the teams, we'll send the links if you need to update your sizes.
Yeah, brilliant. And I think, just so kind of members know, the typical was always 2 years, and we've pushed really hard with our retailers and Adidas to extend that, and we've been able to do that based off the style that we chose. And again, because we know that that's another expense, so we're very happy that we were able to do that. And again, if people want to donate, if they've grown out of sizes that we can use for others, then we may be able to do that in the future too, which we sometimes do.
Okay, there's a couple of questions on Facebook. We'll get back to the other ones soon. If the fall season does not go ahead, will you still do online content?
Yes.
This is directed for Craig. Is there any news on the USA Cup?
I have spoke to them a number of times. We'll have an update next week for that, whether if it's a go or not.
Okay, just a quick question on the fees. Do the fees cover tournaments? And if not, how much are the tournaments a year?
You can answer that, Heather, right?
Yeah. So tournaments are a la carte. So in-state tournaments are 115 per tournament. Out of state would be 175. Obviously, we're not going to plan on tournaments until we know that it's safe to do so. So that's a long way down the road for now. If allowed by government orders, will you allow for small outdoor training sessions with coaches, maybe 2 to 3 players this summer?
Potentially, if we know it's safe, yes. If like I said, where we've got clubs we know running sessions now with 10 players or 9 players separated by the 6 feet, with a overlap of parents coming and going, parents must stay in the cars. Like, there's a lot of that task force kind of going on. So yeah, we've kind of set it up right now. Groups of 4, groups of 6, 8, 10, and different kind of ideas of session plans and how the coaches will have to do that in terms of face masks. Obviously, keeping the kids away from each other, etc. So yes, we've got a lot going on behind the scenes from other organizations helping us and kind of collaborating on that. Again, we would like to get out as soon as we can, but again, only if it is safe and advised to do so.
Okay. Are the various leagues considering only allowing parents to watch from their cars? Will we really not be able to watch our kids play?
I mean, yes, there is talk about it. I mean, we could try and video and live stream it through Facebook or something like that. But yes, it is a possibility. Obviously for obvious reasons. But yes, it definitely is been spoke about. Again, we'll see.
Couple of questions in the chat. If other states have resumed games and practicing, what are we waiting on here? Is it the governor holding us back or another reason?
Yes, governor. We're not allowed, and parks aren't open. We're not allowed to use any of the facilities that we would typically use, even though people are out on them every weekend. We understand that, but we can't get a permit for anything right now. So it's on the city, it's on the governor. I will say this and throw it out there, we have had talks and other clubs as well of actually traveling to these other states to get sessions in. But again, it's a work in progress too, because we got to deal with other facilities, other states, etc. So we're looking at every options that we can.
Okay, there's a couple questions about registration. So where do we pay the commitment fee? So when you click on the link for the rosters, it directs you to the website, and on the website you will find all the links for registration. What you'll want to do is follow those links, you put in all the information, and that is where you will commit for the season. A question about credits. Will credits from the spring tournament payments be applied towards registration? If not, what will it be applied to? For the down payment of $150, the credits are not good towards that, but any future a la carte programming, you can use those credits. So anytime in the future, it's just not this first $150 payment. Slavo and Craig, this one's for you. Is there any update on Super Y?
Yeah, at this moment in time, we are, from the league, we're good to go. Again, this comes down to the states. If the states say we can't play, we have to reevaluate. But at this moment in time, they've pushed back the start of the season until July 15th. So fingers crossed, that's what we're hoping for. But again, it comes down to the state.
And they did mention on that, Craig, right, that it could just be Illinois teams play Illinois with the travel, kind of keeping the traveling out of it. So
hopefully they'll try to keep it locally based, so you won't have to travel into states and things like that.
Yeah.
The problem is there's different numbers of teams in the leagues and things like that. So again, it'll all be how many teams are in the league and things like that.
What measures are you taking as an organization to ensure the safety and health of coaches?
Is that in general or when we get back out? I mean,
could be both.
Repeat it again.
What measures are you taking as an organization to ensure the safety and the health of the coaches?
I mean, everything that we've been advised to do. Obviously, they're all staying at home. Once we get back out, we'll be taking on whatever levels we have to in terms of face masks, gloves, and providing that, making sure that they're taken care of for sure. I mean, just basically, go on.
We've also been working with Adler every week as well, for the mental side of things for the coaches as well.
Yeah.
They updated, so it's when we get back outside. What will we do to ensure?
Yeah, I mean, everything that's been out there, all the information that we're gathering up from other organizations, and just making sure that there's no contact, there's no high fives, there's nothing like that, face masks, and, hand sanitizer, everything and anything that needs to be there, we will have. And making sure that they're obviously protected as well as the kids and parents.
Okay, what will happen to the fees if we think fall season is going ahead in July, but there is a second wave in September? Will it get refunded?
Yes, we are working on that right now with the board. There will be, based off numbers, obviously. It may not be a full refund. It'll be partial refund, partial credit if we're obviously to keep ourselves going. And if it obviously extends even further, then we may have to just refund everything and shut down. So it's still ongoing process, working through the best policies to do both, to keep ourselves going as a club and organization for the kids, the coaches. But obviously we understand that we're not going to just take people's money and not provide a service. So we will always make up in the future whatever we can. And so if it was fall, winter, as we go into next spring, summer, even in the next year, then we can build towards the future. We just need to get through right now, really, right? So we'll keep open communication on those things as we hear as things as come along. Obviously, you all know it's difficult, and we're doing everything we can in our power to make sure we cover all bases, really, and keep everyone, as much as people we can keep happy.
Okay, there's a couple questions regarding rosters that are currently online. Some of the rosters have a lot of players, some of them don't have many players. So when will we make a final decision for those rosters for the full season?
I'll let Slavo jump in there. Bob, listen to me.
Yes, so I'm not sure that I exactly understand the question because all the rosters are pretty much set. Yes, some rosters might have a little bit more players, but it's all numbers by, youth soccer rules. So if somebody is a little bit lighter, it might happen, but we're still working on and recruiting players to add more, definitely.
Yeah,
I'm not sure that I exactly understand the question, to be honest.
Yeah, I'll add to it. So like as Nick said earlier, if players do not obviously register or they don't continue with the club, then we will have to reevaluate some of these rosters. It all depends on registration. So these rosters are tentative at the moment, and we will update them as quickly and as best we can moving forwards.
Yeah, and if there's individual kind of concerns on certain teams, just reach out to your coach and we can give, because obviously there's some players that are already committed guesting and things like that. We can give you a bit more information individually if you need that. So reach out to your coaches on that one.
So I see another question similar to that. So I think I understand a little bit better. Maybe now is a question about also how these rosters are balanced. Are there any imbalance? That might be the reason why some teams have, for example, 18 because they're 18 players similar level, and some team we leave with 14 because there is a 14 players on a similar level, and then some other players are higher or lower. So that might be also the reason of certain numbers on the roster.
Okay, a question about scheduling. If the fall goes ahead, when will we know about practices and games and scheduling and timing?
As soon as we know release dates, because facilities obviously is mainly the right question, right? That goes on scheduling. So we're not hearing anything from park districts or schools right now. We were lined up and expected to have everything that we had last year, which was Clark Monday through Wednesday, Montrose for the younger ones, and then obviously we get our Wilson on Monday, Wednesdays, or sometimes Tuesday, Thursday. So it's in the air, but we'll get that out as soon as we know it. And obviously with the new structure, if you weren't on the last webinar, I ask you, please go check it out. But I'll touch on just kind of the idea where every team will be optional, but they're going to be practicing Monday and Tuesday. So the whole club will do Monday and Tuesday, and then team practice will be more Wednesday, Thursday. The idea, obviously, bringing in same age groups, boys and girls, youngers, olders, a full age group, so from NMC down to blue and red, and given this, different environment, different culture, everybody experiences the coaches, and then if there is, where coaches want to take their teams and do team sessions, they can do that also. So a bit more of a all-inclusive club kind of programming, which kind of ties in a little bit more with everything that we're trying to do from a holistic point of view.
Okay, so there's a couple questions about where will we be training.
So yeah, Clark Park, Mondays through Wednesdays. We're looking to get most age groups out there, and then the youngers we may keep still at Montrose, depending on, again, rosters and team sizes. And then games, again, we'll be using the same facilities, Wells High School, Saturday and Sunday, the Lakeshore Fields, Clark Park, Belding for the younger ones, British School. Am I missing any? I think that's them all.
Quick question
about the same as before, really. Sorry.
That's right. Question about the commitment fee. Does the $150 commitment fee go towards the registration fees? Yes, they do. That will be your initial payment, and we will hold that, and we will not charge you anything else until we know for sure we're going back outside. Will practices possibly be held in the suburbs in the case of social distance regulations are more relaxed than in Chicago?
Repeat that one again, sorry.
Will practices possibly go to the suburbs if their social distance regulations are more relaxed than those of Chicago?
Potentially. Yeah, it's an option. We've discussed it. We've talked about it. We have obviously different connections in the suburbs. Obviously with our North Club as well, they have facilities that we may be able to join in on. So it's an option, yes. I mean, it's not going to be obviously probably for everybody, right, traveling all the way out, but definitely something we looked at. We did speak to the quad indoor as well, obviously being privately owned. So there's definitely options out there. Yeah, people are desperate to get out, right?
Anywhere.
We just do bubble soccer. We'll just all buy a bubble.
There's a couple of questions about financial aid. Please, if you are going to be registering for financial aid, shoot us an email at info@chicagocitysoccerclub.com and we will send you the information. There is a new player question. So what is the normal full year program? How many months does it take? How many breaks, days per week for practice and games?
Okay. Well, instead of being my voice, Pedja, how about you answer that one? So you're not falling asleep.
Yeah, hi everyone. For the new players, as soon as we start, let's say August 24th, you're going all the way to mid-November. We're going to have some break around Thanksgiving in that week. Then we're going to roll into the inter-season, maybe until Christmas, a few days before Christmas. Then we're going to have a break until January, probably 7th or 8th. And then after that, you are in the winter indoor season until spring break. Then we're going to have 2 weeks off. And then we're going to roll into the spring season again until mid-June next year.
Yeah, and then any team, non-NMC teams, typically we did 2 a week. Now we're going to 3 a week. Practices, games on weekends, typically boys Saturday, girls Sunday, but it doesn't always work that way, as we all well know. And yeah, it's a 12-week fall season. We're adding in 2 weeks of pre-season in August. Like I just said, you'll have your break after the fall season before winter, which will also do Super Y tryouts. And then our winter season rolls in then 2 practices a week, games on weekends of a la carte for those that want to do it. We are a supporter and always have been of multi-sport athletes. We think it's very important for long-term development, but obviously we want to keep our kids involved with us as much as possible. And obviously if they don't do those kind of things, it will hurt them going into spring. And we see that every year when people kind of take that time off. It's okay, you know, but just understand that player movement may kind of kick in that instance because it only makes sense. And then, yeah, mid-March, little break for spring break, and then into April, May, mid-June for spring with tryouts involved in that. And then obviously we offer summer programming, USA Cup, Super Y, and things like that. Thank you, Pete.
So there's a couple of questions about the high school fees. So high school season starts in November, so your installments will not start until October. So your fees will not kick in until October. Obviously, if that season is cancelled, we will continue to push the payments. So right now, all you will be asked to do is to just pay the $150 commitment fee so we can register the teams, register the players, so they're all set for the entire year.
Good.
Can we opt out if we do not agree with practicing in the suburbs?
Yes. I think that, yeah, I mean, we would, that would be all worked out again, because we'd have to do a survey based on who's actually going to do it. So yes, absolutely. And that may just be an optional, additional type thing that we may be able to do, but fingers crossed we don't come to that.
Okay, question. If the season or other in-person practice activities going forward under a set of social distancing guidelines with which an individual family is not comfortable, will that family be allowed to opt out without paying the club tuition for the season? Or must we commit now to paying for a set of guidelines, policies that are currently unknown with respect to social distancing?
Loaded one, and if I don't touch on all, just let me know, Heather. Yes, again, we're all about player safety and families here, and we will be flexible. So if you're not comfortable, we totally understand that. So just again, connect with us and we'll work with you. We'll work through that with you. And then what was the last part on it?
It was, do they have to commit now without the knowing? Yeah, so commit now, but obviously if you have an issue with the social distancing policies in place, then just reach out to us directly.
Correct, because we need the full commitment from everyone so we can move forward financially, staff-wise, et cetera, I mentioned earlier. But good question, yeah.
If
We'll
you
not be
want to take,
forcing people out.
if you want to take the winter session off or any session off, do you still have to pay full price for the year?
No, just again, connect with us. We've worked with families in the past. If you know for certain you're not doing winter season, you know, again, we can work through different payment plans and options for that for sure. But again, with the understanding that could affect player placement going into spring, which I think is understood. Everybody's alive and kicking this morning.
Everyone's had too much coffee. Have any decisions been made towards Illinois United and the seasons ahead?
Yes and no. We're still waiting on word from GPS in regards to their takeover, first of all, their new leadership and their plans moving forward. So we're not moving forward until we know them. So I am speaking to them regularly on that as well. The schedule set forth for the fall, again, is set based off, obviously, again, if we do go out. So we're still reevaluating that. But we wanted to go ahead as normal, but again, we have to wait and see.
Let me quickly check over the chat because there's a few questions in there. Are the games? Oh.
Can I add on this question that is about season going under the set of social distancing? I don't believe the season can. I mean, games are not possible if there is any kind of additional rules or social distancing. We're gonna be back in the season only if everything go back to normal. Yeah, there is no way to play games without contact.
Yeah, and the only thing I mentioned earlier, there was talk. It hasn't been confirmed of doing smaller sided games, but again, like Travis said, you can't stop contact at any age in this sport unless it becomes a non-contact sport. So,
for the winter, are the games included in the fee? So Winter League. No,
as last year, a la carte, based off again teams that want to play and where we will play.
Would it be considerable to have a month-to-month payment option? A large financial commitment is a lot to ask with a lot of uncertainty.
It is, but for us to operate as a organization, it's not. We've looked at every option, but ultimately, no. We did look at that, and it's either one or the other. We either shut down. You know, if we were to do that, we'd have to let go of coaches. We'd have to stop a lot of the fixed costs that come in from, you know, rentals and things like that. So it's not really viable, you know, for us. But again, everything anyone pays for, they will receive in terms of a service and a product.
Will there be any penalties if a player decides for whatever reason that they don't want to play when it comes to the fall?
I mean, does that mean if the fall season is running as normal?
Yes.
So if the season's running as normal in fall and a player opts out for whatever reason, will they be punished? Meaning,
yeah. So like, will they like receive a penalty or not get a refund? Or I think that's what they're just trying to. So like, let's say fall goes ahead, but they're not sure. Gotcha. Yeah, will they get a refund or will? I'm not. Yeah.
So I mean, being completely transparent, it would probably be a partial refund or a credit. I mean, we will work with you individually, but again, we can't just keep refunding, you know, everybody's fees. We can't operate it under those parameters, but we will definitely work with you as best we can. But yeah, we'll be flexible as we can. And we've worked with some families already that have lost jobs and are in those situations. And again, we're a community club, guys. We're here for you. We're a non-profit. Every penny that comes in is going straight back out to the development for the players. And obviously, these guys on the screen, the other coaches that are not on the screen right now, you know, put in many, many hours, days, weeks, years for some of them into the development of your players. And not everybody understand that. And, you know, we don't want to have to let go of anybody. And that's our big thing. And I know you guys as parents have reached out and said, whatever we need to do to keep the guys on staff, is our key. A lot of clubs, again, I've spoke to, they've let go of coaches. They've only kept on 2 or 3 directors. Again, I stick by it, and that's been my decision. We're not letting go of anyone. We're in this together. We're going to get through together, and we're going to come out stronger together. I know it was long-winded, but there you go.
Can some of the hours not used this spring be transferred for personal training, even if it's virtual?
Yeah, possible. Yeah, reach out. We can definitely talk about that for sure. Yeah. Who do they want?
I think that is it, unless any more questions come in. Sorry if we've missed any. Awesome. There's quite a lot in the chat, so we've tried to make sure we get them all answered.
Yeah, if we've missed by any reason, just again, reach out to us. More than happy to answer them. A lot of good questions, guys, and I hope this was very informative. Just please understand we are doing everything that we can. And I know there's a lot of different organizations your kids are involved in school and things like that, and I know for a fact that we are doing some of the most, I guess, innovative and even most detailed kind of virtual training compared to a lot of other organizations. So we're going to keep doing that. If there's anything out there that we're not doing and you would like to see more of, again, just reach out. We're here for you guys. Did I see another one pop up there, Heather?
Yeah, there's a couple more questions now. Will the kids be wearing masks if and when we restart?
If we are advised to do so, yes. And I believe that's what's happening in the other states rolling out next week. So we'll be keeping a close eye on that, and conversations continuing there as well. In a way, we may be lucky to have these other states and organizations running as guinea pigs for us, but hopefully we'll be able to roll out soon.
I think that is it. If you have any questions about the registration or any of the financial issues, please reach out to us at info@chicagocitysoccerclub.com. If you have any questions regarding placement and rosters, please reach out to the technical directors. It's always everybody's name before chicagocitysoccerclub.com. Just make sure you reach out to us and we'll answer it the best we can.
Yeah, great stuff. Guys, thank you very, very much for your time. Again, we're here for you guys. If you need anything, like I say, the next kind of webinar we're setting up with Adler as a parent workshop for sports psych. So please keep an eye out for that. We want to, again, help you guys through this process. And let's hope we can get out soon. We miss you all. We thank you for your support. Keep doing the virtual training. Let's make sure the kids are ready and prepared physically, mentally for that when we do go outside. Coaches, any last comments or words?
We miss you.
Stay positive and see you soon, hopefully.
Simone, anything?
Yeah, just hopefully we'll be seeing each other in person pretty soon, and stick with it and stay positive, and we'll get through.
Well, Rafa?
Nothing. Stay home, stay safe, stay city.
Love it. Thank you, Heather.
Yep.
Thank you, everybody. Bye-bye. Have a great weekend.
Thank you. Bye.